Hey guys, Lorenda here. Welcome back to my craft room. Thank you for joining me. Tonight I just wanted to share with you this Valentine DIY using items from the Dollar Tree. And this is a picture of my dog. So it is a Valentine for my dog. So this is my dog. Her name is Chloe. She is going to be 12 in May. She's a Wheaten Terrier. So 12 is actually a ripe old age for a Wheaten Terrier. So I am certainly very blessed to still have her. She is definitely our darling. So I just have some pictures of her and I in a couple, and then her. So the items that I used to make this are two of the love signs from the Dollar Tree. I took the corrugated heart off and I used them in another project. And then I used the Dollar Tree heart welcome, hanging welcome sign. So it was 5 hearts total. The one that has welcome on it I didn't use in this project. And then I used my Cricut and I used Target vinyl to put this decal on. Now, if you don't have a Cricut, there are so many options. The Dollar Tree actually has a lot of really nice different pictures. I did see some with some dogs on there, with some cats. They have one that is just a big love you could put there. Now you could also get a stencil and you can paint on here. The Dollar Tree has lots of different lettering if you just wanted to say something. There's a lot of very different ideas that you can do. If you do have a Cricut and you like this decal, I got this from Cricut Design Space. I have the Cricut Access and I like to use it as much as possible since I paid for it. So there, that, and then the pictures are done on regular copy paper. I used a laser printer for those. And then, so the hearts are covered first with just some black and white wrapping paper. And then the pictures over top. And then, so I used Mod Podge to cover them. I did 2 layers of Mod Podge. So how many layers I put over top of pictures just really depends on how it feels when it's done. Sometimes, you know, the material makes a difference. I always use at least 2. Sometimes I use 3 or more depending on how it feels and how much protection I feel like I need on it. And then I used the Waverly chalk paint in white. I have a paint pen in like a brown color that I used. And then I used some chalk paint in black just to do a little bit of distressing on it. So if you like this project, please give it a big thumbs up. If you haven't already done so, please hit the subscribe button. I greatly appreciate it, and I appreciate you being here. So, yeah. There's my Chloe. She's so sweet. She is the sweetest dog. I love her so much. All right, so, well, the video will follow, and I hope you guys have a blessed and beautiful day, and we'll get started. Thanks. Bye.
All right, so here's what I use. Now, I always use coffee filters to help me clean things. Now, this is the welcome heart sign that I was telling you from the Dollar Tree. And the love sign. Now, I've already painted one of them, and I take the welcome heart sign apart. There's some glitter on there, so I do take a little sandpaper and get rid of the glitter. I do that over a coffee filter so I can just throw it away. And I do that to each of the pieces, and I turn them over and cut the red ribbon off the back of them. Now again, the one that says welcome I didn't use. Now on the love sign, I'm going to, just as you can see, easily pop off that corrugated heart and then go through and clean up the glue that's underneath it. All right, so now I have my hearts from the welcome sign. I'm going to use the Waverly white chalk paint. I like chalk paint because it's very forgiving. You can paint on anything with it, and it gives that nice farmhouse look to it. But it's wonderful. You can paint on anything without priming. And for these quick projects, that's just makes it so much easier. So I'm going to paint each one of the hearts white and let them dry. Now next, this is just some like wood putty that I got from the Dollar Tree. It's cheap. It's not stuff that you would want to use on a big project, but it's perfect for filling in the little holes on these Dollar Tree signs. Sometimes I just fill them in with paint, but when the paint doesn't fill evenly, I'll use this and just fill it in. If you don't have this, you can also use toothpaste. And then I'm going to take my paint pen that I already have. I got these on clearance at Target, and make my lines. Now you can use a black marker with this if you don't have a paint pen, and you can get paint pens at the Dollar Tree. And then I'm going to just take some black chalk paint and go through and, make some little places on it that will help just kind of make it look a little bit more rustic. And, just go through, put a little on like some sides, brush a little bit on the inside. Not a lot, just some little places. And, you can always go back and take a little sandpaper to these and rough them up a little bit if you need to. But this just helps give that rustic farmhouse look. If you hear those cute little noises, it's because my grandson's sleeping on my belly. It's the best. So as you can see, I did just, I took a little piece of sandpaper and just went in and roughed it up a little bit to give it that rustic farmhouse look. All right, so now I have some wrapping paper, and I'm gonna cover my hearts first with wrapping paper. I thought that I would just really enjoy having the white and black background, so I made my pictures that I'm putting on so that part of this wrapping paper would show on the edges of it. But to be honest, I don't necessarily know that I would do this again. I think it was an extra step I gave myself. I would just make my pictures of my dog big enough to cover the entire heart. This didn't necessarily do for me what I wanted. However, if you are gonna cover it, then you're going to use Mod Podge to do so. So I just turned my wood signs over and used the back of them. I also have this buffalo check dish drainer underneath me. I like to use them. I buy them at IKEA, or like if I find them on sale at different places. I find that they make for a good work surface cover. They're nice and padded, and you can do, a lot of work on them. And when they get so messy that you need to toss them away, you don't feel so bad. Okay, so then you're going to cover your hearts with Mod Podge and lay it on your paper like I did here. Again, this is a step though that I would not do next time. And then afterwards, I just cut out the heart around the paper around each of my hearts. And then I'm going to Mod Podge over top of it and, fold everything down. And then let it all dry. Make sure your pieces are all covered well with the Mod Podge. Sorry, I could have shortened that a little bit. We'll get through covering it with the Mod Podge here soon. I like the scallop edges on these hearts, and I go through and make sure that, I go in between each scallop so that I do get the scallop edging on it, because I really think that's a pretty touch. Okay, and now after your hearts have dried, anytime you use Mod Podge, you can take some sandpaper and go over your edges, and it will actually help you get a nice smooth edge and take off any excess paper. So I'm just going to go over each of the hearts and just lightly sand around them, and it will get rid of any extra wrapping paper that I have. All right, so now I'm going to use my Cricut trimmer, and I'm going to cut out the pictures that I want and place them on my hearts. If you hear whining in the background, that's my grand dog, Lucy. She's a golden doodle, and she's also super sweet, and I love her so much. So I'm going to use Mod Podge, and I'm going to apply the pictures to my hearts. And once I get all the pictures on, I'm just going to turn the hearts over and use my scissors to trim up the pictures so that they match around the heart the way I want them to. After I trim my hearts, then I'm going to go back and apply Mod Podge to each heart, and I'm going to apply it generously. After I let them dry for a little bit, I'll go back and apply a second coat of Mod Podge. How many coats of Mod Podge you're going to put over your pictures is really going to depend on what you're looking for, the look that you want, as well as where you're going to be hanging this. If you're going to put it outside, you want them protected even more, so you're going to use more layers. I always do at least 2 coats of Mod Podge. So again, as you can see, I'm really, quite generous with the Mod Podge. So now I have my foam board from Dollar Tree. I've used this one piece of foam board for several projects, so for $1, it definitely goes a long way. I'm going to line up my wood planks and see how big I want it to be. Now I am going to make it a little bit smaller than the wood planks because I don't want it hanging off the edges. So then I'm using my level. You don't have to do that, but I'm using my level and I'm using an X-Acto knife to cut out my foam board to the designated size. After I cut it out, then I will apply it to my wood planks using hot glue. So the first thing I'm going to do is take my 2 wood planks and I'm going to hot glue them together. All right, so here are my hearts that are finished and dry. My decal that I'm going to put. I'm going to decide how I want it on my wood planks. All right, so now I'm going to take and hot glue these 2 wood planks together. Like I said, I'm using this really chintzy hot glue gun because I ran out of glue for my good hot glue gun. And this thing is just a cheap little hot glue gun that doesn't work very well. I have a couple of these little plastic ones. I do end up going to a different one, but I certainly have gotten used to my industrial hot glue gun that my husband gave me. But these do the trick. So I'm going to, just apply some hot glue so that I can put my foam board down. So after I get my foam board put down and comfortable on my wood planks, then I'm going to apply my decal. Now I used the Cricut transfer tape, and if you use this, it is very, very sticky. I normally only use this for glitter stuff. I don't know why I chose to use it. It definitely gave me a bit of a hard time, and I should have at least put it on my clothes and made it less sticky. But I got it on, and here's my decal. So then I'm going to take and put my hearts on. I sort of offset them. That was the look that I thought I wanted. And you can do them, of course, any way you want. And just use some hot glue and apply them. And later I do decide to go back and use some jute cord to make it so I could hang it.